Ola Electric was once again in the news for claiming to have done what no other EV brand or battery manufacturer in India has done so far: locally manufacture a lithium-ion cell from scratch. Which begs the question, how does the localized manufacturing of lithium-ion cells benefit the customer? At present, lithium-ion batteries are made in India by two methods. First, by importing lithium-ion cells and making one's own battery pack, and second, by importing battery packs as a whole and slapping one's brand name on it. Both are imported primarily through China or Taiwan and account for anywhere between 40 to 50% of an EV's total cost in the country. Localized manufacturing of lithium-ion cells would make EVs much cheaper. Not only that, it will potentially accelerate EV growth and help the government meet its target of 30% of private EV sales by 2030. At present, imported lithium-ion battery packs attract a GST of 18%, while EVs as a whole only attract 5%. And although this will change very soon with both battery packs and EVs attracting the same 5% GST slab, localized manufacturing of lithium-ion cells would allow EVs to be even cheaper, along with a few other benefits.
So it's a very different thing to make one cell in a lab and then scale it up to make millions of cells and ensure the quality. And then figuring out the supply chain for the same. It's capital intensive. It's a different industry altogether, and it's best done with a partner to be able to do it right the first time. There is definitely advantage of localizing cell manufacturing. Does it have to be done by the OEM or can it be done with a partner? I would say it's better done with a partner.
Ola Electric claims that having control over the chemistry and the materials used in making a lithium-ion battery cell can improve the overall life cycle of the cell, potentially allowing each cell to hold a higher level of charge and provide better range. There's also a safety angle to this. The recent spate of EV fires seem to have suggested that a lot of imported battery packs have not been engineered keeping India's extreme climatic conditions in mind. And while brands which manufacture their own battery packs like Ather Energy have greater control over battery performance, having control over the minutiae of cell chemistry would allow an EV manufacturer to ensure that the cell has been adapted to India's particularly challenging environment. There is another major advantage to producing battery cells in-house, and that's large-scale manufacturing. As prices for battery components such as nickel, lithium and cobalt continue to rise, the only way for brands to manufacture at speed and scale is to have total control over cell manufacturing. Because at present, EV makers aren't able to address the growing demand for EVs, particularly because of a heavy supply chain issue, not just with regards to semiconductors, but essential battery components. Battery cell manufacturing isn't the norm internationally either. In fact, even EV giants like Tesla, among others, rely on external suppliers like CATL, Panasonic and LG for its batteries. But recently, Tesla CEO Elon Musk announced plans to halve battery costs through in-house battery cell engineering. So while prices are going to come down one way or another, for India to truly become an EV manufacturing powerhouse, localized cell manufacturing at a massive scale is key. By 2025 alone, India would require approximately 60 gigawatt-hour of lithium-ion cells. And thanks to the government's recently announced PLI scheme that targets the manufacturing capacity of 50 gigawatt-hour of advanced cell chemistry, there are several major players lining up to manufacture or collaborate in an effort to manufacture lithium-ion battery cells. This includes Tata Chemicals, which now has a 127-acre complex in Dholera, Gujarat, designed to provide 10 gigawatt worth of lithium-ion cells per year. Similarly, Suzuki Motor Co. has tied up with Japanese corporations like Denso and Toshiba for a joint venture with the setting up of India's first lithium-ion battery manufacturing plant in Gujarat presently underway. That said, of 10 companies that applied for the government's PLI scheme, 4 have made the cut. And this includes Reliance New Energy Solar, Ola Electric Mobility, Hyundai Global Motor, and Rajesh Exports, which will collectively receive incentives up to 18,000 crore rupees to boost local cell manufacturing. That doesn't mean that cell manufacturing in the future will only be limited to those players. Smaller outfits like Bengaluru-based startup Log9 have emerged as a front-runner in the race to commercialize cell and battery technologies developed specifically to suit our tropical conditions. In fact, Log9 aims to provide locally made battery cells to help boost the low-cost EV space. Except for being resource-rich, India has every other advantage that it needs. India is already one of the world's leading makers of battery management systems. Does it need vast reserves of lithium, cobalt to be a major manufacturing force? No, You see, even China isn't the most resource-rich country when it comes to lithium or cobalt reserves. And yet it has nearly 250 gigawatt-hour in annual capacity with plans to raise it to 2 terawatt-hours by 2026. The EV industry has the potential to level the playing field for car makers like never before. Hierarchies are shifting, new startups are challenging legacy car makers, and innovation is being led at a chemical and software front rather than a mechanical one. However, across the globe, every country's automotive industry's survival depends entirely on the country's own local supply of EV cells, and of course in the recycling of lithium-ion cells, which is a topic for another day. For now, take solace in the fact that the day EV prices are on par with internal combustion ones isn't far away.